about the approach thing. Made a real interesting kind of observation, all right? And you know, whether it's just by dumb luck or whatever it may be. When I watched and when I competed against the Europeans, what did they do that was unbelievable? Okay, when they ran their approach, they never went on the high jump mat, ever, ever, ever. Okay, technically, athletically, we're better than they are. Technically, they're superior to us. Okay, and so what that means is, I'm sitting there running through, and it's me and Jamie Nieto are running through the mat, and everyone else is running their curve and keeping their shoulders in. Because what happens as soon as I come to the mat? I sit there and do everything wrong that I'm trying not to teach. My knee drive is where? There. My shoulders are where? There. Okay? So anytime you're teaching this and anytime they're on the mat, I want them to make sure that they're turning, keeping their shoulders, keeping with the curve and everything else we're going to do. Now, this drill breaks down everything that I just said. Okay, so it's the one time that they are actually allowed to jump onto the mat. Okay, so what I'm saying is, if Linda was doing a run through, she wouldn't run on the mat. She would just kind of run through, hit her mark, and keep running. Okay, it's great actually. I know Cliff is one of the big advocates of it, and he does a lot of clinics, and I know I do a lot of clinics. Now in America, you don't see it as much at the college level. Now at the high school level still, but you know, let's be the one coach who starts it now at the high school level. All right, so make sure that you're staying with that same thing. So that means if I'm running through, if I jump like this, that's not what we want. Okay, we want to make. I'd rather have them just jump and drive across, land on the ground, and keep running off. Okay, but now this drill, spend all the time doing that. All we're going to do is work on our knee drive, hold it up. Okay, and the reason we're working on holding it up, and if you guys haven't noticed with a lot of the drills, knee drive is so important in the high jump. Let me repeat that again. Knee drive is so important in the high jump. Okay, why is that? Okay, like I said, everything's a reactive thing. All right, every great high jumper. We were watching the video on Darcy's athlete earlier, not Linda. Okay. And the one thing that I watched after watching tens of millions of hours of tape, besides the stretch reflex and stuff like that, every great jump and high jumper has unbelievable knee drive. Their knee drive is here, bam, it's high. And then what happens is this knee, with the exception of maybe one or two athletes that do a drop and go like this, they keep their knee up like this forever. And they ride it, they ride it, they ride it. And to the point where the reaction is their back drops over the bar and they rotate over the bar. Okay, we were talking about this earlier where kids try to throw their head over and stuff like that. No, it should be this knee drive here, riding it up, and then what happens is the shoulders will fall back and they'll get into kind of an arch. Okay, greatest high jumper ever, terrible form. Okay, he goes over the bar sideways. Javier Sotomayor, one of the worst forms ever. But this drill is gonna kind of emulate or kind of show that knee drive. So we're gonna do the one where he drives. Okay, so Lauren's coming up. She drives up. Okay, watch the thing. So the thing, and Linda will do one more right after Lauren does it one more time. So what I want is you got to be careful how they land too. They're gonna land back on their takeoff foot, and their knee's gonna hold up the whole entire time. Okay. Okay, so see how she drove it across? So is that exactly like jumping on the mat and doing? No, because she's kind of got a leg drive. So you're just going to run up, drive, try to land back on that leg. Let's see. Good, so I'd actually, and that's good that she did that. Okay, so there's two things, you know, that are common in a high jumper. Once your inside leg, what happened is she tucked it like this. What do we know from rotation? If you're out like this, what's your spin?
Hello.
What if your spin's in like, or your arms are in here? It's back. So if my leg is long, then what happens to my rotation? If I tuck it here, then what happens? It's quicker. Okay, so I want to slow the rotation because she's going to jump 6 feet, 6'2" this year. So I want to slow down the rotation because she's going to need time to get over that bar this year. So the one thing I want to try to keep that, take off it straight and try to keep the knee up. Because what will happen, in essence, if they do it right, to a point, they'll get here and they'll actually start to fall backwards. They'll actually be like, oh, I felt like I'm falling backwards, because that's what happens. So go ahead again, pass Lauren up. So this is good. I'm glad this is the first time she's ever doing it. So this is good. Good. Okay, so, no, but that's good. So that time her leg was straight, right? The only thing we wanted was the knee to stay up. Okay, and part of it, the reason she uncups her knee is because, you know, the stability of hitting the mat. Okay? Alright, try it one more time. She's going to do it third time's charm, right? Good. Okay, so that was good from that. The only thing I would change is make sure she drives her knee a little bit more across the knee. That was the only change I would make. Okay, so, but you see, we've now worked on the knee. You see we're working on a lot of the takeoff kind of stuff, right? And I probably progressed too fast with that one. Alright. Pass probably the most important drill. Number one most